So welcome back to another session of the Relaxing Fertility Yoga sponsored by the Fertility Partnership. So my name is Julie, and my invitation to you in these classes, and really all the time anyway, is to practice kindness towards yourself and towards your body. I'd love for you to think of this time together as a space to nourish your mind and your body. The sessions are very gentle, and they are also done with the IVF process in mind. That being said, some of you might not be in that process right in this moment, but we avoid certain things like deep twists, inversions, core work. So if you're already a bit of a yogi, these are the things that we avoid in here. And that being said, if you've done something like that recently, please don't worry. This is being overly cautious. With these things, usually what they say is, as long as people kind of keep doing what they've already been doing, it's fine. But again, this is more in line with the idea of nourishing and relaxing, and just giving ourselves some space. Okay. So we'll start with the centering and breathing, and then we'll move into some warm-up movements. And then from there, we will flow through different postures, and I'll put some music on as well. And oh yes, and I was saying before I hit record, I've got my animals, my two dogs and my cat that occasionally make appearances. As I was saying earlier, try to just let it all be vibration, not good, not bad, but just part of being alive here and now. Likewise, I'm actually myself 7 months pregnant right now, and had my own journey getting there as well. Different journey, but a journey too. And just to say, I just really want, again, I really want to invite you to just be kind to your mind and to your body, and to be compassionate with yourself. So, our bodies can be amazing and they can surprise us. And likewise, we can really frame our narratives sometimes. And so I want to just encourage you to frame a kind and compassionate narrative for yourself and your body, the same way that you would want to speak to, say, your best friend or one of your dearest loved ones. I just really want to invite you to speak to yourself like that as well. So, okay, we'll start. We're going to start seated. You can either sit or lie down, and excuse me. And if you have any props that you want to use, bolsters, blocks, straps, cushions, blankets, they don't have to be yoga props. Again, they can be blankets and cushions and pillows. Please do let yourself get super comfy. Okay. So we're going to start either seated or lying down. It's really your call. If you've been sitting at a desk all day, lie down, give yourself a little break. And you can either throw something under your knees, put a blanket over your body, put a little cushion behind your head, or if you want to sit, either sit on the floor or sit up onto, again, a cushion or a bolster. So just get cozy. Okay. So once you find that centering position, again, either sitting or lying down, just take a few rolls of the shoulders. So we're going to inhale and roll the shoulders up, and exhale them down and back. And do that again. And then one more. And just relax, excuse me, relax your shoulders down. Either let your palms be facing up for receiving energy or down for grounding energy. And then close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose with exhales, sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. Once you've sighed out a few times, just let your natural breath take over. Close your eyes if they're not yet closed. And just drop into your breath. Notice anything that you can notice here. Is the breath shallow? Is it deep? What is the breath signifying to you about how you're feeling right now? Sometimes if the breath is really shallow, we might be feeling a little stressed. When it's a little naturally deeper, maybe we're feeling more relaxed. And whatever you find in this practice, just notice it. Notice it without labeling it as good or bad, without judging it, without putting any shoulds on yourself. And then from here, take the awareness to your face and just start to relax the face. Relax the brow. Relax along the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth. Loosen the jaw. Take that same awareness and just let it cascade down your body, relaxing your neck and your shoulders. Relaxing your hands and your fingers. All the way down. Right down into the tips of your toes. And just notice if there's anywhere in particular that you might be storing stress right now. Sometimes that could be the head or the tummy or the back or the shoulders or the feet. It can be so many places. And just become aware of it. And again, there's no need to judge anything. We're just becoming aware of maybe some of the parts of the body that have taken on whatever we're feeling at the moment. And then let's bring the awareness back to the breath. And we're just going to start with a very basic type of pranayam. Now, pranayam is a yogic breathing exercise. So we're just going, and again, if you've already done a lot of yoga, you'll know a lot of these things. So sometimes it's nice just to check back in with the basics though. So we're just first going to start with a deep diaphragmatic breath, just bringing the breath down towards the belly. So we're going to inhale through the nose and take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. And then exhale out the nose and feel the belly fall. So we're inhaling, expanding, breathe through the nose, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And then deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest. Expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. So we inhale, slowly expand. And exhale, gently contract. So this 3-part breath, this basic type of pranayam is known as a dirgha breath. So if you're newer to yogic breathing, stay with this for today. If you're familiar with the ujjayi or the ocean wave sounding breath, just go ahead and come into that now. But again, just do what feels right to you. And let's take about 5 more rounds of slow, deep breath here. But as we do, actually maybe more than 5 rounds, as we do, I'd like you to imagine that with each inhale, you are bringing an energy of calm and light into your body. And with each exhale, you're releasing anything you no longer need. So maybe releasing some stress, whether that's mental or physical or otherwise energetic, whether that's imagining. One of the nice things we can do here is we can inhale and imagine the breath coming into those parts of your body that you noticed were feeling a little more stressed. So say you have very tight shoulders right now. Imagine breathing into your shoulders. Breathing calm and light into your shoulders. And then imagine on the exhale that your shoulders just start to release some of that tension and feel them as if they're loosening with each breath. So just tuning into your body and into your energy. Let's take about 5 breaths here. Just really visualizing that breath coming in and calming things down. Let's take another breath or two here. And then start to mentally ready yourself for movement. And just in your own time and in your own way, start to bring some movement back into your body. And just let yourself take a stretch, yawn, sigh, roll around, just do whatever you need. Oh, we've lost someone and they've come back. There we go. Okay. And then from here, we're going to start the practice from seated. So if you're currently lying down, just gradually make your way up to a seated position. And I'm just going to scooch myself back here, scooch the camera back as well, so I'm a bit more in the frame. Except for the dogs in the way, of course, right where I want to be sitting. Okay, I'm gonna go behind the dog. So, bring this back. Okay, so what you can do here is you can either sit again onto a prop like a bolster or a pillow, or you can just sit onto the floor. So try to sit with your legs crossed. If you're struggling with your legs crossed, sit however you can. So a couple things to say: when the lower back is tight or when the hips are tight, what can happen is the knees, especially with the hips, the knees will jump up like this. And if the back is feeling a bit tight, sometimes we can feel like we're kind of being drawn back. In both cases, it can help to sit up onto something. So again, even if that means grabbing a couch cushion, just sit up onto something so you can elevate your sits bones, and that will make it much, much more comfortable. And it's never about being stronger or fitter or anything like that with regards to props. It's about honoring our bodies and honoring our bodies where they're at right now. So where you were at yesterday or 5 years ago is going to be different than where you're at today. And again, try to avoid any shoulds. So if you're thinking, oh, I should do this or I should be able to do that, just let it go and come into what is right now. I'm just gonna move this microphone also so it's not, there we go. Okay, so yes, I realize I'm overly catering to my dog, but he is nearly 16 and deaf, and I just kind of, I let him get on with life. Okay, so, right, so we're just going to sit up nice and tall, and then let's take an inhale, lift the arms up, and inhale and breathe. Inhale as you take the arms up, and then exhale, release down. And again, inhale, lift, and exhale down. And one more, inhale, lift. And then this time, go ahead and interlace your fingers and turn up through the palms. Take a big stretch up towards the sky. Then turn the knuckles back up and release your left hand down so that your left hand is coming towards your spine. Then you're going to take your right hand across to the elbow. Start with the tricep stretch. So we just start by sitting up tall here. We take an inhale. And then exhale, take a lean towards the right. Now, I'm going about 40-50% of what I usually can. I actually broke a rib about 2 weeks ago. So I'm not going to take it as far as probably what you can right now. So you don't have to keep this super close up here. If you can tip it further, please go ahead. So you all, again, take it to the point that's right for you. And then inhale, lift back up to center. And then drop that right hand down. Take your left hand to that elbow. Sit up nice and tall. And then take it to the other side. Again, take that little lean across. So we're opening the shoulder and we're also opening laterally. And inhale, take it back through center. And then just simply unwind the arms, take your hands down onto your knees. Now, this is the first class of the new year, which I realize New Year is kind of arbitrary anyway. It's just a revolution around the sun, which technically we're doing every day. Each, New Year's could be today. Anyway, that being said, I realize it's a new year, and sometimes it's nice to think about these things, especially after the festive season. So today I really want to focus on the back and just opening up and checking in with our spine and with our center. So we're going to take the focus all the way down to the lower back to start, to the lumbar. And I just want you to imagine that there's this puppet string coming out, and it's just going to go around, and you're being led by that puppet string. So you take it forward, and then you take it out to the side and roll it around to the back. It's not a deep movement. So sometimes when we're in here, we're doing these really deep circles. This is actually, again, connecting right down into your root. So just keep following it around and change the direction and just check in. How are things in your lower back? Our mind-body connection, it can be so amazing. There was a woman I interviewed for an article I was writing once, because I'm a writer as well, and she was a physio / yoga teacher / hypnotherapist, and she talked about this idea that she believes that one of the reasons low back pain is so common in contemporary society is because our bodies react to our circumstances, whether they're personal or cultural. And so, you have your lower back, which is your root, your base of everything, your foundation. And, sometimes we can get chronic, and this is with regards to chronic pain, obviously not like an acute injury where you've very specifically done something. With regards to chronic pain, she believed that low back pain came from a sense of not feeling supported in some way. So maybe not feeling supported in terms of, it could be anything. It could be work, it could be a partner, family, culture, society. So it was just, it's an interesting thing to think about if we do get chronic places of pain. And my best friend actually gets chronic lower back pain, and it always flares up when something happens in her life, some emotional thing, and she's very aware of it. So interesting. Anyway, let's travel up now to the thoracic, so to your tummy and your mid back, and we're just going to start to circle around here, and I want you to really try to circle that area through. And go the other way. And just keep it going. I just want to double check what this message was that one of you just sent. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to double check the message. Funny enough, I don't know the Louise Hay book, but I know of Louise Hay, so I didn't know that she said this as well. But yeah, it's just the mind-body connection is very strong. And take it around the other way. And then we're going to take it up into our chest and our shoulders. And you can get almost like sassy with that, like almost like a hip hop thing where you're letting your shoulder go out and you're really sending the chest forward, and then the other shoulder is going to help direct. And we're just really rolling around through the chest, and we can pull the shoulders back as we pop the chest forward. Go the other way. More. What you doing, Elu? What do you need? Okay. And take it all the way through center, and then once you're here, you're going to tuck the chin in towards the chest. The rest of your spine is nice and tall. Tuck the chin into the chest. Then you're going to roll your right ear towards your right shoulder, and then chin to the chest. Roll the left ear towards the left shoulder. Now, if you have any problems with your neck, better just to keep these half circles here, okay? If not, what you can do is when you roll it around, you can roll it back, but rather than compressing your neck and just drop your head back, I want you to actively reach back so you're actually elongating your spine. You're getting that stretch. And we take it down and around, and we just keep rolling it through. Oh. And take it in the other direction. I'm going to help the dog onto the couch. They have a little footstool that they can pop up onto the couch from, but the other dog's kind of laying in front of it, so he was struggling. Doesn't matter. You're like, and we care why. Okay. Take a few more in the opposite direction from where you started. And take it back through center. We're going to take the arms all the way up and interlace the fingers. And then from here, we're going to have a little circle around. And you can really play with how big or small you make these. Again, I'm going to keep things a little smaller at the moment, just with my rib. I wish I had some like amazingly sexy story, like, yeah, I was rock climbing and no, I sneezed and my floating rib broke. It's ridiculous. And then go the other way. Okay, take a couple more. Excuse me. And then take it back through center. Now, keep your knuckles up. And remember, I said we're not doing any deep twists. However, we twist all the time in our daily lives. Twisting is a healthy motion for the spine. So we're going to take a lighter version of a twist, which doesn't compromise anything with regards to IVF. So we're just going to take a very slight turn to the right. That's it. So you'll feel that twist more in the upper back rather than lower down. You'll feel a little bit lower down, but this isn't a super deep twist. And then we come through center, and we exhale to the other side. inhale through center. That's it. And exhale, release your arms down. Now, actually, let's do one quick warm up for the wrist. We're not going to do too much on the hands, but enough that maybe some of you will want this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the backs of the hands together and then roll the fingers in towards the chest and up to the sky. So it's like you make a lotus flower as you come up. So we're just rolling the wrists around and around each other. And go the other way. Couple more. And then gently come through center. And you're just going to take your hands out in front of you and unwind. And if you do have a bolster or anything like that, just go ahead and get it out of the way. So you can just place the bolster out to one side or the cushion or whatever you might have been using. We're going to come onto hands and knees. Again, it depends on the floor that you're using, but what you can do here is you can put a blanket or you can put a fold in your yoga mat if you're using a yoga mat, and you can put a fold there so that the knees are a bit more supported, particularly if you have a hard floor. So just listen to your body. Again, we're just helping to love it and nourish it and care for it rather than to punish it or torture it into something. So we're bringing the knees in line with the hips, the wrists in line with the shoulders. We're going to take an inhale and we're going to arch the spine. So we roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest, and then exhale. Tuck the chin into the chest and round up. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round up into kitty cat. Take a couple more. So just really giving our spine a lot of nourishment this evening. Okay, and then bring it back to center. And then once you come back to center, I want you to come down onto your forearms, but leave your bum up in the air. So fellow dog lovers, it's like a dog in a play bow, what we're coming into, okay? So when a dog is getting ready to play with something or someone, and they kind of go, oh, and they come down, it's like that. So the bum stays up in the air, like we have our poochy tails or something. And I can't do this one fully right now with my rib, but what you're going to do is you're going to walk both your arms, so again, ignore the fact that I'm not doing it with both. You're going to walk both your arms out in front of you and take your forehead down onto the ground. Okay, and you just stay there. And again, just ignore that I'm not going to do all of this fully. So just take a few nice deep breaths in your puppy pose. You should hopefully be feeling that opening in your shoulders and in your upper back. And if these are places where you store a lot of stress, maybe you even visualize that stress, like as if you opened a box and all of this stuff just came out. You can just imagine it all leaving your body, all the stress, all the strain. Start to walk yourself back. Okay, we're going to walk back up onto the hands. And then from there, I just want to make sure I keep an eye on the time because this class always goes way faster than I think it is going. Okay, so then from here, we're going to sit back into the heels. And we're just going to do a little sequence, something to help the hips and the back. Again, everything just opening up, chest opening up. So the first thing we're going to do is it's a seed to tree motion. So it's like you're sweeping up the earth and then you're blossoming up into a tree. So we're just going to lean forward, so lift the bum, and we sweep the earth and we take a nice big inhale, we lift the arms up. Oh, and let's just do a couple like that. One more. Okay, and then when next you come up, take your hands to your lower back, and we're just going to do kind of like single windmill-like movements to each side. So we're going to take the right arm, and we're just going to bring it up, and then we just follow it. And we're not twisting around here, we're actually working with the shoulder mobility a little bit more. There's a slight turn, but it's not that you're twisting from your lower back there, okay? And then we take the right hand back, and we're going to do the same with the left arm. We're going to lift it up and back, a little windmill. We're just going to do singles to each side. So we're going to go single, single. Both hands come back to the lower back. Roll your shoulders back, open up through your chest. Take an inhale here. Oh, and then exhale. Take the bottom back towards your heels. Take your arms out in front of you. And then from here, we're going to slide the arms out front. And we're actually rolling over the knees. And we're going to roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. You can bring your big toes together. And again, I'm not going to drop my pelvis all the way down just because it's too much for my rib right now. But take it to the point that it feels okay to you to drop that down. We take an inhale here, little back bend. And then exhale, we're going to roll it back into a child's pose, which means you're taking your bottom towards your heels, forehead down to the ground, and the arms outstretched in front of you. And then slowly start to roll up, and we're going to do that sequence a couple more times now. So we're going to take a seed to tree, inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down. Take the hands to the lower back, and then you're going to take your right arm, swing it up, start to reach it back. Place the hand back on the lower back. Same to your left side. And then once both hands are back on the lower back, roll your shoulders back, open up through your chest, really elongate your spine. Exhale. Take the bottom down towards your heels. Slide your hands forward, and then again, you're going to roll over your knees. I should put a blanket under my knees. It's a little too uncomfortable. We're going to roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. Exhale, and then we roll it back into a child's pose. And again, take it to the point that it's right for you. I won't go as deeply as most of you will. So you're going to take your bottom back towards your heels, forehead down to the ground, arms outstretched in front of you. Oh, just take a nice deep breath here. Okay, and then slowly start to roll all the way back up. One more sequence like this. So we're going to inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, release the arms down, hands coming to your lower back. Swing that right arm up, single windmill. And then that right hand coming back to the lower back, and we do the same to the left. And roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest, take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale. Send the bottom back towards your heels. Take your hands all the way out in front of you. Roll up over the knees, roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. And then exhale. Take it again back to a child's pose. So bottom coming back towards the heels, forehead down, belly either over or between the thighs. Either version's fine. Okay. And then this time we're going to lift the head, lift the heart. We're going to come up onto the fingertips out in front of us. I want you to really spread your fingers nice and wide. So it's like you've got two starfish that are just suctioning the earth there. Then you're going to roll up, excuse me, towards your hands, curl the toes under behind you, send your hips back, roll your shoulders back. So you're coming, I'm just gonna slightly adjust my position there. Okay, so you're coming into a downward facing dog. And then I just want you to take your poochie for a little walk. So you're going to bend one knee and then the other. Ooh, getting some clicking, some cracking maybe. And just go ahead and keep doing that. And just pedaling it out. And as you pedal it out, I want you to find what feels good to you. So you might want to get really sassy into your hip and let your hip drop in with your knee. Or you might really want to feel that stretch into the back of the leg. The person who has the hamstring injury, take this easy, obviously. You don't want to overstretch or push it too far. But for some of you, you might really want to push down through one heel as you're bending the other knee so you can really feel your calves start to stretch out. So just have a little play there, just a few breaths. And then from here, come back into your full expression of that downward facing dog. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze under your armpits. And then you're going to inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. And exhale, bend that right leg like you're cocking the leg, like you're a doggy having a wee. And then inhale, take that right leg back up. Now I'm going to ask you to do something a little trickier. We're going to come forward, and we're going to take, here, let me scoot back so you can see it better. We're going to take the right foot, and we're going to bring it so that the right toes are pointing towards kind of, what is that, like 1 o'clock-ish? And then you're also going to take your left foot and step your left foot forward so you can end up into a squat, okay? So I know that this is, it suddenly got a little hard, all right, a little more challenging. Now, we're going to do this a few times, but just to say a couple options here. So you can either have your heels up. So for some people that will be mandatory because if they put their heel on the floor in a squat, it might break the arch of their foot. For others of you, you might find it very simple to keep your heels down. And yes, I'm doing yoga in my slippers tonight because it is cold. And my mom gave them to me for Christmas. Okay, so from this squat, whether you're up on the balls of your feet with your heels lifted or your heels are down, we're just going to take the hands back, and then we're going to step one foot and then the other back and push it back into a downward facing dog again. So we lift the bottom up. Okay, and then from there, we're going to take things to the other side. So you're going to lift your left leg up to the sky, and then exhale, bend your left leg so you can point your left toes over to the right so you're opening up through that hip. And then lift your left leg back up. And then float your left foot forward. So you kind of come through a variation on a lunge here. So the bum's not up high anymore. We're dropping down through the pelvis. And then we take that right foot forward. And again, we end up into our squat, okay? We'll do it a couple more times. So elbows coming against the knees, take a nice inhale here. And then exhale, take your hands down, walk one foot and then the other back, push your bottom back into down dog. Now I'm just gonna talk you through it rather than fully demonstrate, just because It's just a little too much for me at the moment. So what you're going to do, you're pushing back into that full downward facing dog. You're going to take your right leg, swing it up. And then exhale, bend your right knee, point your right toes towards the left side. So you're turning and opening that hip. So two great things are happening when we're talking about things related to fertility. One is that we're opening the hip. The other is that we're in a down dog, which is believed to have some hormone balancing properties to it. Take it all with a pinch of salt, because of course the body is so deeply connected that just having a practice where we're opening up and we're breathing and we're stretching is great, okay? So we're going to take that right leg, swing it back up. Okay, and then you're going to take that step forward towards 1 o'clock, and then you take your left foot forward, and again you come into your squat. I'm going to add something on here. So in this squat, taking it now, lift your arms up. You're like, this is not so gentle. I thought this was all gentle. Sorry. Okay, and now lift it up. And then exhale, take it back down. So just a simple lift and down. Take your hands back down, and then you go step, step, and then send the bottom back. And then you're going to do the same thing, lifting your left leg up. Exhale, bending the left knee, opening up through that hip. And take that left leg back up to the sky. And then we bring that left foot forward towards 10 o'clock or whatever it would be. And then right foot forward. And then we're going to, this is it. We're going to come into the squat, bring the elbows together, inhale, lift the arms up. And take the arms all the way out in front of you, and then open wide like you're giving a really big hug. Like you don't want to kill me after that last set of movements. Okay, and then take the right hand, bring it down on the inside of the right leg, swing your left arm up to the sky. Make sure it's on the inside. For a lot of people, it's very intuitive to throw it around the back. Keep it on the inside. And then come back through center. One more time, arms out, big hug. And then we tip to the other side. Oh. Take it through center. And then if it's available to you, you can just fall down onto your bottom, or you can help yourself down onto your bottom. Okay? And then let me just adjust the screen here, because now we're going to start to take things down onto the back. Okay. So from here, you've landed on the floor, and we're just going to slowly come down, 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 down onto the back. Okay. And then once you come down onto the back, take a moment just to sigh out. Sometimes just having gone from seated or standing to then being on the back, we just have this stress that needs to release. Take a couple of breaths there. Just need to check my fireplace is closed. It is not. Okay. There we go. Okay. And then from here, from this position on your back, we're just going to do a very gentle opener for the hip that's also quite nice for the lower back. So again, we've spent this session really focusing on the spine and the hips, connecting to the center of the body. And hips in particularly are something you hear a lot about when it comes to fertility yoga, this idea of opening the hips, releasing tension and trauma from the hips. So yeah, again, take it as you do. So we're going to extend the left leg out, right leg is bent. We're going to walk the right foot so that it is coming up against the inside of the ankles, coming up against the thigh, the left thigh. And then you're simply going to tip that right knee out to the side. So it's like a supine tree. So if you're used to doing yoga, it's like the balancing tree pose, but just on the floor. So no balancing, obviously. And then you're going to take your arms up and interlace your fingers, point your index fingers and your thumbs, a bit like Charlie's Angels. Then you're just going to take your arms all the way back. Oh, and you just take a nice big stretch here. And we can turn that knee back up. And you don't even have to adjust the arms. You can just let them relax a little bit more. And we're going to swap the legs. So we extend the right leg out, walk the left foot up against the right thigh, and then let that left knee tip out to the side. This is a particularly good pose, and you can relax the arms too. So if you feel like actually you just want to chill and you want your arms at the sides, and just, that's fine. So this is a particularly good pose when people are struggling with sciatica and with back spasms. So I've had a couple clients, funny enough, who at the same time, completely separate of each other in different parts of the world, were experiencing back spasms, and they both said that this was like the only pose that didn't make them crazy and in fact gave them relief. So just something to file away. And then turn back up through that leg. And then from here, you've got a couple options. So one option is to bend the knees and just let yourself and relax the arms and just allow yourself to get comfortable here. So if you have back sensitivities, bending your knees when you're lying down is always better, just because it helps relieve and alleviate pain in the back. Otherwise, legs can extend straight, and you can just let them flop and splay. Okay. And I just want you to find a relaxed position on your back, and if you'd like, you can grab your blanket. Please grab a blanket if you've got one handy, or if you've got a little cushion that you want to put behind your head, you can do that. So just come into a comfortable position lying on your back. And then just relax your shoulders, relax your hands. Close your eyes. Let your eyelids become heavy over your eyes. And just take a few moments to sigh out any last times that you would like to sigh. And once you've sighed out a few times, Just let your natural breath take over. And feel your body starting to melt down and connect to the ground. And as your body melts down here, and you give yourself permission to relax, I'd like you to appreciate, draw a sense of gratitude into your heart and appreciate your body exactly as it is. Your body with so much capability, these working limbs and hands, and that you can breathe, and that your heart is pumping and you don't have to tell it to do so. And take a moment to also appreciate that you gave yourself space this evening to nourish yourself, to nourish your body, to slow down a little bit, to check in with your center, with your back, to check in with yourself. And sometimes all we need to check in with ourselves is to pause and take a few deep breaths. 1 minute of meditation is better than no minutes of meditation. So just give yourself permission now, in these coming days and weeks, to pause and check in, to pause and breathe. And give yourself permission to nourish yourself, to slow down, to say no to things. From here, take your gratitude and bring it back to your breath. Start to deepen your breath. Draw some movement back into your fingers and your toes. And gently roll to one side. And bring yourself all the way back up to seated. When you come back to seated, bring your hands into prayer. And just gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice in this earth. Thank you all so much for coming this evening. As mentioned, from next week it will be at 6 o'clock for kind of the next month. And then After that, it will be at 6:30, but for the next month, it's going to be at 6 o'clock. I'm just going to stop the recording.